officials insist that this is an isolated incident.
Good evening. I am Dr. Olivia Wilson, and this is the Dragon Storm Ancient Myths and Legends Special Report. Drones, orbs, fog and weather changes, lights in the night sky. Join me as we seek answers to the current rash of UFO observations around the globe.
Oh my god, here we go. Here it is. Oh my god, here we go.
Reliable reports indicate there are objects coming into our atmosphere at very high speeds and controlled by thinking intelligences.
What's up? Welcome back to Dragon Storm, Ancient Myths, Legends, and Lore. This is another episode. This is kind of a impromptu emergency episode, quick episode about the drones and or aliens and or enemy drones. We have some theories on that. And also the riddle. I'll let Tony take over with the riddle in a second, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. These drones things over the East Coast, New York. Now they're in California. God only knows what they are, but I have a theory. I'm going to share it. Bill has a theory and Tony has a theory. We're getting into that now. But what say Alexander Storm with the riddle? Tony.
Okay. Hey, everyone. It is me. It's January 1st. We're recording this, which means the long riddle has ended. And we're going to select a winner from those who put the right answer in. And on the next episode, we'll announce the winner. And then on the episode after that, we'll have a new riddle and new prizes. So for this episode, if you got your answer in, it'll just be a short time, and then you'll know the winner because it's a.
Do you want to say the riddle again, or?
You know what? Alexander Storm sent me a voice memo, so I think what I'll do is, I think he called you guys last night too to wish you a happy New Year. He sent me a voice memo with the recording of the riddle. So what I'll do is I'll stick it at the end of the video. So
beautiful. Yeah. Like you guys, there's some great gifts. What is the next gift again? Is it
I have two interesting pieces. One is soil from Bran Castle, which is supposed to be Dracula's castle. And it's in a little vial like that, and it's soil from the cellars of this castle, which, you know, if you know the Dracula legend, it's, you know, supposed to be where he has to return to, or he needs to bring that soil with him to exist somewhere else. And then in line with that is also a piece of the stone brick from the same castle. So I thought maybe we would do them as a group prize. So not to choose one or the other, but we'll get
that's pretty cool.
We'll get both of those items. And show I'll actually
we give away some
everybody what they are.
Pretty cool gifts. I got a coin myself that was from the Roman Empire. That's super cool. And but we've given some of those away, different fossilized teeth and bones and I don't know, all kinds of cool stuff from ancient history. Tony's really into that, so he finds cool stuff, buys it, and then gives it to you guys who can, you know, solve the riddle. So every show you have an opportunity to solve a riddle. If you do it, you go into a basket of names. He randomly pulls one out. If you win, it's announced on the show, and then you give us your mailing address, and we send it out. Bam! And that's how we do on Dragonstorm. So since time is tight, I'm going to go ahead and get into my theory on this whole drone thing. Now, you know, who am I? But what I will say is this. What my theory makes a lot of sense, and, you know, I don't think it's aliens, although I'm never ruling out aliens. I think aliens could certainly be around, droning around or whatever. That's a whole nother show. But I think that, in my opinion, this is what happened. I think that their intelligence community got word that a dirty bomb or possibly, they did lose a nuclear something, some kind of radioactive material. They admitted that. It literally fell off the boat, if you know what I'm saying. Like, how do you lose a shipping container with radioactive material I mean, you can't. Somebody stole it. You don't lose something like that. Somebody broke in and they took it. So now there's potentially a dirty bomb running around New York or New Jersey, whatever. So the government has these drones that are, I imagine, that they're capable of sniffing out radioactive material. Now, so they're flying. They're doing grid patterns back and forth, back and forth. Now, they're not going to tell anyone that, by the way, there's potentially a nuclear device or a dirty bomb in the tri-state area, because could you imagine the effect that would have on the population? You could potentially have millions and millions of people going, I'm getting the F out of the tri-state area because there might be a nuclear bomb or dirty bomb. So they all get in their cars and they drive inland, and you have millions of people. And where are they going to go? Like, there's not enough hotels there's not enough places. There's not enough cousins to stay with or whatever. So you're going to have this mass exodus. Plus, the economy would collapse. Wall Street would stop working. The whole tri-state area economic, engine would collapse because there's nobody there to work. So the government says, we weigh it out. What should we do? Should we just lie and say we don't know nothing? They're just these drones. We're not sure who's doing it. Scratch my head. Or should we tell them, by the way, there's a dirty bomb running around, New Jersey? I think they just decided to cover up and lie. Yeah, Mayorkas and his tribe, his ilk, all are used to just looking at the camera and lying. It's just part of their job. So I think they just sit in a room. They decide what lie are going to tell the public. This is what they do the least amount of damage, and they go. That's my theory. Not sure if you agree with it, but Bill, Tony, what do you think?
Best thing to come up with was drones. What drones?
Right.
City drones.
Yeah.
That's the best cover story. I'd say, there's like a bobcat escaped from a local guy's house and we're trying to find it because he wants it back and it could be dangerous. Something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we lost a kid. Something, he explains it better than nothing.
Yeah, it's a red alert.
There's
there's a red alert. We have a missing child in the area who's been abducted. We're just trying to look for him. Instead, they're just like, what drones? There are no drones. There are drones around us.
Or even something less interesting. Yeah, that it's
would
like,
make sense.
that's what they are.
Right. Yeah, it's scary. So, since our last show, which we had happened to be doing on aliens, and I had grabbed that footage on the last show over Boston, which I thought was aliens because we didn't really know about this drone situation yet.
Yeah, you were right in front of it.
Probably in the past month, probably 2,000 or 3,000 videos. I've read an amazing amount of back-end blogs and things like that. There is a consistency in the entire world. This is not New Jersey and California and stuff like that. This is the entire globe. This is every continent in the world. This is Australia, Europe, Russia, China, Asia. The drones are the least interesting part of it. The Orbs, which morph into 5 drones, I think are extremely interesting. The Orbs, which we've been seeing for 50 years, and after doing all this research, I had no idea, because I'm not a sci-fi guy, I had no idea of the amount of eyewitness testimony from reliable people about what's in the sky. Everything I'm describing and everything that I'm seeing on video, this is on video. This is not a lie. This is people, 200 or 300 people in China reacting to something in the sky. 200 or 300 people on the streets of Manhattan reacting to something in the sky, and all filming. These are real videos. What's happening? We can't get close enough to them. They move at such an intense speed. They move in the blink of an eye. There is no technology that we have that can sustain flight for 20 hours or 18 hours and move in the blink of an eye to get away from a fighter pilot. It's not possible. We don't have anything like that. We don't have that technology, okay? And if we did, we would say somebody would blow the whistle. After 2 or 3 months now, there's too many moving parts involved here. If you've got 10,000 drones flying around the globe, you have to have 10,000 drone pilots.
Tony.
Right?
So is this a possibility? You think it's a possibility that there is a extraterrestrial type of machine, could be a drone from outer space, whatever, and then we've issued hundreds or thousands globally of our own drones to monitor the skies to look for these things to try and see if we can figure out what the frick they are. That also could be a theory, and they're not going to tell the world. By the way, we have definitive proof that these extraterrestrial alien orbs flying around, and we're looking for them, and we're watching them. But don't panic.
Yeah, they're there. We see them. What are we?
Yeah, but
stupid?
you're not looking for them with these slow ass
Maybe.
drones, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying is every there is not one society in the entire world's government who's stepping forward and telling the people what's going on. And you know
Yeah.
why that is?
And they don't want to
'Cause
panic
they don't
us.
have a clue. They don't know what's going on. Even if you listen to the snippet of Trump speaking about, oh, the president and the government, they don't know what's going on. I don't know why they didn't tell anybody yet. Continue to listen to that snippet, and maybe I'll throw it on the video here.
You're right. He's the
Yeah.
closest thing to a whistleblower we've heard.
Yeah. As he goes on, he makes supposition. Well, if it's coming out of somebody's garage, they would go to that garage. If it was this, when he starts doing stuff like that, it tells me he doesn't know what it is, right? Because start making up different scenarios about different ways that they would be.
Unless he's been told the lie,
they could be
because he doesn't want to panic the world, So just
my theory at this point, and I kept doing. My first theory was what you said, Gunnar. There's something going on here in the tri-state area, and they're looking for it, and I felt great about that idea. Okay, as we
But
progress,
then they launch a bunch of drones in other places to take your eye off New Jersey.
right? Well, it's the Orbs, Bill. The Orbs. If you watch these videos, which I'm going to include here, I've downloaded most of them. You will see a drone enter our atmosphere, have a red tail burn as it enters the atmosphere. It'll fizzle out and turn into a massive energy, which to me could be a cloaking system. Okay, just because it looks like an orb and it looks like rippling heat, and that's what masking systems could look like. But then I watch it and it dissipates from an orb into 5, 7, 8 of these drones that we do have more close-up pictures of. Okay, so now you have a mass entering the atmosphere from outer space. You have it cooling down, and then you have it splitting into 5 to 8 different parts that become these drones. These drones, people are following these drones. I don't know why they're saying that they're not on the news. They're following the drones. The drones are going out to sea.
Yeah.
The drones are going under the water at some point. They're coming to sea after they enter our atmosphere. Okay? There are so many places for aliens to have been hiding since the dawn of time.
Well, it's outer space. And think about it. Think about this. We're pretty smart. If we are smart, intelligent, think about our advanced technology and advanced race. Let's say we are on an exploratory mission to explore other solar systems, and we have ability to travel that we don't understand. It can exceed, the speed of light, whatever it is. We get here, and what would we do? Would we fly in on a ship and land on the planet and go, "What up?" We're here. What's up with you guys? Or would we send some drones down? We'd send a pods of exploratory drones who would fly around the world, pick up, learn the elements, learn the culture, learn the atmosphere and the gases, and then they would gather this stuff and then take it back to a mothership, which might not even be anchored in our solar system. It could be anchored in, Andromeda or whatever, who knows where, but or maybe it is out there. It's satellite working out there by Saturn or whatever, and it sent these drones. But maybe that's what happened. Of course, then NORAD and stuff pick these things up, and we're like, what the frick is this? But they don't want to freak the people out and say, hey, listen, we're being invaded by aliens, essentially. They seem to be harmless. Don't panic. But we're going to send up a bunch of drones, thousands of them around the world. We're going to monitor the skies, whatever. There. Of course, people are going to see them and go, what the frick's going on with the drones? And so, I mean, could that be?
Yeah, but wouldn't satellite imagery be sufficient?
Well, maybe they
for
have
this
a cloaking,
kind of,
some kind of way of cloaking themselves from the satellite imagery. Because if you look at it, I don't know, we don't have every inch of the world covered in satellite footage. We have spy satellites can be moved around and stuff. Most of the satellites are just geosynchronous for communications. There's not that many satellites that can to study every inch of the Earth. But you think about it from a radar perspective. A radar perspective, an F-35 bomber, which is a giant bomber, can't be picked up by radar, and this is like very low advanced technology compared to these aliens. So maybe they figured out a way to cloak their presence because they know they're actually invading an alien world, and our technology probably is very primitive to their compared to theirs, and they know how to avoid it. So the only option we have is literally fill the sky with a crap ton of freaking cameras and drones just watching. Man, maybe that's it. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, let me ask you this. Aside from our drones, these orbs, do we have a gauge on how big they are, what size they are?
It's hard to tell because this distances that they're going, but they're pretty large. I would say probably the size of like a tractor trailer size. And the drones that come off of them are more like a VW bug.
I mean,
kind
that's
of size,
big,
right?
Not bad.
No, that's big. But
Yeah,
there
our
are
heavy payload drones are probably like
Yeah.
6-foot diameters, the ones we
Right.
have.
the crafts that pilots have picked up. I saw some amazing footage from an Air Force pilot where they flew right across the front of his window, and it was they were disc shaped, but they weren't fully round. And again, I'll post a video here. They had almost like a half arch on one side, half arch on the other side, and then an indent there. And they whipped right by. I have footage of something more cylindrical like that, almost like a cigar shape, from the side view, where it goes. It's in the clouds. You really can't see it. It whips by so fast. You slow the video down and you catch it. You can actually see the outline of it moving through the cloud. And then you play the video again, and then you catch it. You can see it whip by because it whipped by so fast. And I just want to be clear. I never said that their intentions were nefarious. I'm more concerned about our lack of information in order to make an assessment for ourselves and decide if we need to make provisions because there could be an issue in the future. So not to start a panic, but I think that it's very important in this day and age that if you are unable to explain something and you're running the most powerful country in the world, then you have to say so, because otherwise you have a lot of people hanging in limbo. And I should clarify, no one's concerned about this. I talk to people about this all the time, and I can't get anybody's goat. Really.
Let me interrupt,
really
Tony, and say that
taking
you just said something very important, and there's a reason for it. Nobody seems concerned about it, which is exactly what they want. Because if they came out and said, listen, something's happening to our Earth, we are being invaded by an alien something, we don't know what it is, we have no idea, what would happen would be there would be a massive panic. People would be freaking out. They'd be going in bunkers. They'd be living in the woods. They know humans. There would be hysteria of some kind. And that causes only way more damage than good. So they now just say, don't worry. It's nothing. It's fine. We know. We got NORAD. We got Area 51. We know what we're doing. So just chill out and relax. And therefore, the people have come complacent and like, nothing to worry about. But, what's the good of telling them to worry? It only has a negative ROI.
Yeah, we're going to put our trust in a government to let a Chinese balloon go all the way across the country taking pictures before they did anything about it. I don't think this country has any faith that the leaders can handle this.
Yeah, they're hoping.
It's nothing.
But they're not going to tell you it's something.
Right.
Because they're worried about.
Yep.
But I can tell you just an alternative thing. This has nothing to do with the orbs, but now we've got these 6-foot diameter joints that are pretty heavy capacity. If people don't know, they can lift, 10 to 30, 40 pounds, right? And they're running about $27,000 to $30,000 for one of these things that can deliver some kind of a payload package, right? So believe me, what if there's somebody setting up an Uber right now, right? And it's like, you're going to privately own your drone and you're going to make deliveries. And now Amazon's going to be even faster, right? But the permits and the stuff to take care of this and to test these things would be exhaustive. So I'm like, hey, let's just put it in the hands of the individuals. And hey, fly your drones around, figure it out. Let's figure out what we could do, collect some data without doing it publicly.
Yeah.
And like Uber, you got Uber drivers all over the place. They're doing it. And some company's going to launch this. And guess what? They can even use all this publicity on the back end as free commercials. Like, hey, here's what it is. Get your pizzas, and boom, it's all ready to go. Has nothing to do with the orbs, though. That's a whole different subject.
Yeah, I mean, you got too many moving parts with that. Somebody would grow it. There would be someone who would come forward and say, these crazy people that got us flying these drones all over the sky. There would be one person with some common sense that would come forward. Because again, you're talking about thousands and thousands of drones all over the globe. And unless
thousands of sightings, yeah.
nobody's touched on it all.
But some of them could be other things. You know, we're assuming that they're all the same thing, but there could be some of this is happening.
Maybe we didn't make them, and maybe they're not from outer space. Maybe they made themselves, and maybe they're flying themselves.
Or
maybe
maybe
it has nothing
we
to do
made
with any
them
alien
like
race.
these orbs, and their advanced technology. We've reverse engineered technology from a crashed alien ship, or we just are more advanced than they're letting on. Because we all know, all three of us know that there's technology in the world right now that has not been released to us as far as energy goes and things like that. That could create limitless electric or like distilled water and things like that. But there's so much money being made from leaving it as it is that they take these technologies and they sweep them under a rug. They kill people. Like they guys who invented it, they go out to show people, and 2 days later they have a car accident and they're dead. It's like, who knows what's out there? But I'm guessing aliens. I'm saying that there's an I believe that in aliens. So I think no one can argue that we have not been visited by aliens in the last since we are the technological revolution in the last 100 years. Or before, right.
If not before
our next show is
evolution,
going to be we're going to talk about that, and talk about the pyramids and stuff, and how that stuff.
One of my favorite kind of spins on that is, what if the orbs were made by us in the future? They're going back temporarily, and then they're checking things out.
Or they're sent back in time.
We always
what if they send them back in time to give us technology that will get us to the future?
Or just to go back and look. Wouldn't it be great to go back and look?
We really are, if you think about it. If you look up at the sky at night, the light that you're seeing from that star is 4 billion years old. Like, we don't even know what that star is doing today. It could be exploded. It could be crashed, sucked into a black hole. That's a $4 billion. It's just history. You're looking at history. Well, that's our theory. Would you like to add anything else before we wrap it up on that subject? I gave you mine. I think that originally, I think it was maybe this dirty bomb scare. But then, there's a lot of other theories, a lot of other evidence. I think everybody should research it the way Tony did and kind of look into it, look at the videos, compare. I've seen things in the night sky that are unexplainable. So I don't have all the answers. I'm just theorizing. But, closing thoughts, each of you, before we move on.
Well, I did want to mention one thing that's changed over the past week and a half, and that is there are countries all over the world who are experiencing a very dense fog that doesn't lift and lasts for days and days. The fog, everyone who is in the fog is describing a chemical smell, a chemical metallic actual taste that they get in their mouth and in their nose. It's very easy to find. Go on Instagram or one of those and just type in, fog anomaly across the world, and you'll pick up people all over the world. And it follows drone sightings that appear to be spraying payloads. There's videos of spraying payloads on Instagram. Take a look. It's all right there. One of the things that I have seemed to notice is they don't like these, and you can't get a flashlight. You have to get an actual green laser. Okay. Anyone I've seen, and I don't know how this is going to look if I point it at the camera, but you know the idea. It has to be an actual laser. It can't be a flashlight. If you point it at the drones, they don't like it. They move away immediately, and they'll move away short distance, and then if you keep on them, they take off. So it's like $10 on Amazon. I'm not making any money off of them.
You might save your life.
You don't want to throw them off. It might save your life. They don't seem to like lasers.
My only caveat to that, to that is, there's so much fake and AI generated content on Instagram and all other platforms. Sometimes it is unbelievably realistic and hard to believe. And so just when you see these things, take it with a grain of salt that this could be the work of some very talented AI artist, if you will. And you just don't know what's real and what's fake these days. Unfortunately, there's a merger in time and space and technology that it's all kind of coming together, and there's really no way to discern until we can. But for now, I would say stay safe. Bill, did you want to add anything?
Just that I think DoorDash has
They're on the move,
got
man.
its days numbered, man. These
Drone
drones are going to
dash,
take
bro.
over.
Drone
These drones
dash.
are going to be doing it soon.
Drone dash.
Drone dash. Yeah, don't buy stock in DoorDash. Anybody
Dude, I
driving
hope they
around
can go
is-
far and they
they
got
an
Italian.
expiration date
Because
that's coming.
where I live, the nearest good Italian meal is about 100 miles away. And I would be willing to pay for a good Italian meal with some cannoli. So, I mean,
I'm close to Purdue, and they've already got, and then they have had robots
That's
that
creepy.
deliver pizzas and stuff on campus. They'll just be pulling down the sidewalk, and then you
That's
type in your code
crazy.
and get the pizza out of it.
Creepy and crazy.
Drones are the
Well,
next
hey,
one.
well, you guys, that's it. Quick one wrapped up on the drones. If you have any comments or theories, make sure to leave them in the comments. We do look at them, and believe me, if you have something you want us to talk about or address regarding this or anything ancient myth, legend, and lore, we'd be happy to consider it for a show. We're always looking for ideas. But God bless. Stay tuned for the results of the riddle and the prize. And for now, stay tuned to our next episode. We're going to be talking about the Great Pyramids, the pyramids of the Mayans in Central America, South America, the Machu Picchu hieroglyphs, and stuff like that. So stay tuned to the next show. God bless. We'll see you next time on Dragon Sword, Ancient Myth, Legends, and Lore. We're out.
Hello? Hello, Anthony? Are you there? Sorry, it's hard for me to hear you. Say again? Yes, okay, I can hear you now. This is Alexander Storm. Yes, Storm. Doing well. And you, I trust? Yes, I was hoping to be able to join you once more, but sadly I've been a bit busy. You see, I happen to be in Morocco at the moment. We are excavating at the Kem beds. I was asked to come on behalf of Asar, you see. Well, he has his reputation to think about. Apparently there is a well-versed expert on paleontology who has made some rather interesting observations to his fellow brother and sister dino lovers. Well, he apparently thinks that the mini Tyrannosaurus Rex is a true and different breed from the big version of the T-Rex. This is despite the protests of Asar. Our excavation should be able to put this argument to rest, but it does take quite a bit of my time. Oh yes, the riddle. For those who did not hear it the first time, I would be happy to repeat it. Here it is. Of something powerful, I was the last. Keep that in mind as you delve into the past. On a wicked day, my brothers and I were betrayed. A day whose number speaks a voice of fear to this day. Once the greatest with sword and shield, our flag flew high, and all men would yield. Reduced now to a legend of old, as our magic and our blades and our treasure grows cold. And the last to lead this downtrodden lot, the grandest of grand, Solomon's faithful from the start. Surely you know the answer to this. Well, I had no doubts. Anyway, I must go. Let's talk later. Farewell.